Okay, so I'm testing this again to see if you guys can hear me now. Hopefully this will have solved the issue.
Where am I going?
Just refresh the page. The Living the Shift page, not the event. Okay, well, I'm just going to start, and hopefully somebody is going to be here with me to tell me whether or not they can hear me this time.
Okay, Living the Shift.
Not the event, the page. Yeah, scroll down. Oh no, I'm here somewhere. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, well done.
Now we have that whole part. Okay. Well, fine then. Sorry, you heard me getting a little short. Hold on a second. My husband being the production manager here. Hold on a minute. Okay. Well, let's try this as a take two, shall we? I apologize. This is Angela Coulter with Living the Shift, Spiritual Alchemy, and Trinity Energy Progression. And I am here today to tell you, I'm laughing because I just did a whole almost 20 minute spew, apparently with no sound. So if you were watching and confused, I apologize. And ignore the beginning part where I was like, you're on the wrong page, saying to my husband, who I am grateful for being my production manager and helping me out with the stuff. So anyway, okay, here we are again. This is take two on the 2017 Spiritual Metaphysical preview of what's shifting, going, and coming through, because there's a lot, so much, and so many people are going through some really challenging times right now. And, you know, we have so many out there who work in the metaphysical and spiritual realm, and they all great, fabulous practitioners. But sometimes I feel like we get lost in our own vernacular and verbiage. And so many are like, okay, great. It's great about this, you know, opening and that opening and this, you know, activation, that activation. But really, what's that about? Because I'm really not even sure, you know. So today I'm going to talk to you about it in certain way, and just in certain ideas and understandings to try to help you understand where we're going, where we are, why we've felt like this past couple of months have been so bizarre for us. And I don't know about you, but especially December has felt like it's simultaneously been 5 minutes long and 5 hours long. So, I'm sorry, not 5 hours long, 5 minutes long and five weeks long. So we are 5 years long. It's just been an incredibly long and short month simultaneously. And I've had a lot of people say that to me, and they're like, well, I don't even understand. What is that about? I feel like, you know, in one hand, it's gone so speedy, and the other hand, this month has been so long. And I was looking at that and reflecting on it. And thank you. Yay, we have sound. I know, I'm so happy. I was a little tense and irritated at the beginning of this because I was like, what? And I was like, what? And you know what happened? So funny is I have this propped up on a selfie stick, and I was playing around with it because it's something I got for Christmas, and I had the selfie stick plugged into my phone, and apparently that affected my sound, which was really weird. So here we are. Anyhow, so I'm going to make a little note here really quickly on the other one that I had posted to say everyone can all right, okay. Everyone can refresh. And now watch take two. Okay. Electronic. Okay, so anyway, back to this. So December has been really bizarre. And like this stuff too. One thing after the other. And we keep on saying upgrades, we're having upgrades, we're doing all this kind of stuff. Well, it is, and it's not. It is, and it's not. So the beginning of this fall, it was like late September, early October. You know, there was this amazing experience that I had as part of a group out in Orcas Island, Washington. And I knew outside of space and time we were part of a much bigger group in the collective where we had committed to step forward and energetically walk through this major doorway of change. And in doing so, and so we all did collectively, and it was all of us outside of space and time. And as we did that, the door collapsed behind us. The door not only closed, but collapsed behind us. So there was no going back. It was like, okay, jumped off the diving board now, and there's no going back. So you might as well enjoy the ride down. And that started this huge rumbling that we've been going through for several months now. I mean, this whole year has been huge on change. But I don't know about you, but I noticed there's a lot more deaths in immediate families, in friends, in pets, celebrities. Look at what's gone on this entire year. And many are scratching their heads and they're like, what's going on? It feels like the sky is falling around us, like everything's falling around us. Well, it is, because we walk through this doorway of change. Yay, Karen, I'm glad you can hear. Yay! So as we walked through the store and everything started to crumble, it was all these old institutions, all these old beliefs, all these old things we held to us that didn't serve us anymore that started to crumble. And now it's almost like we pulled the pin out and there's no going back. It's like, you know what? Setting up one of those big domino like setups that are really cool, and you see them all set up and hours to fix it. And then you hit that one domino and they all start to fall, and it's like, all right, it's going, and now we're committed. That's what we did, and my understanding was that's what we did in the beginning of this fall. And I, at that time, started getting this understanding and these visions and just knowings that we are coming into the next big tsunami of change, of mass awakening, and that it wasn't going to be waiting until our calendar, January 2017, that it was going to happen before the end of the year, which has already started. And so everything has sort of accelerated and slowed down simultaneously. And many of us are going, well, I don't quite understand. Why is this happening? So I've been working through this, and I work with a lot of different practitioners in this field as well. And we're working at the collective level and looking at the bigger picture and saying, well, what are we doing? You know, what's going on? What's this feeling? Because just as anything is going on with us individually, it's going on at the collective. Just as anything is going on at the collective, it's going on with us individually. It's all part of the same consciousness. So I kept on feeling like, and I'm like, there's only one way I can truly explain the way I've been feeling this whole month. And it's interesting because I haven't engaged as much in 3D stuff. Like my holidays this year are very simple, and nothing against them, no resistance, just almost like they were unimportant in the scheme of the bigger picture. And now I understand why, because it really has been. So the feeling that I've had has been this hesitation and excitement simultaneously. And I was finding myself getting really irritated. And I found a lot of people around me, like my clients and friends and students and family, getting irritated over little things. And so many are having these little things, like what we call little things, but really little but emergent things, right? So sicknesses that just take you out for a number of days, injuries, or even like going to the emergency room for something that just pops up, becoming really emergent, like right now, take care of me, for yourself, for your kids, for your family, for your pets. Animals getting sick, our families getting sick, like unexpected expenses that cause us to get distracted and focus a lot of energy and time and try to figure out how we're going to organize something or manage it. And I watched myself go through this, and I watched a lot of people, and I was very grateful because though I had a lot of those, they were relatively little. And I know quite a few people who had a lot bigger ones, and they were like, I have no idea what I'm going to do here. I don't know how to deal with this. And so I've been observing all that, right? And what is that about? We got to a point of when I really looked at it and I said, well, what's this feeling about, and I know we've already started the change. I know it's already kicked in. I know this wave is already coming through. So when I looked inside and I was doing some work with other, friends, practitioners, the closest I could come to describing the feeling was what it feels like, what it would felt like to me. Both times I was pregnant about 7.5 months into pregnancy. And it's like this moment, and I can't quite describe it to you, but if you've given birth, it's just a great analogy, because we are giving birth to a new phase and a new world. And probably that's why the feeling is the same. So about 7.5 months, you're still not really tired of the pregnancy. You're excited about having the child, but it's like all of a sudden it's close enough, right? It's within range. And you start realizing, oh my gosh, I have to go through giving birth. And there's this, like, this feeling of, I remember the first time I was pregnant with I have 2 kids. And when I was pregnant with my first daughter, going to birthing classes, and I was about 7.5 months. And at the end of each class, they would give these little videos of different birthing situations. And I remember watching one week, and I leaned over to my husband and I said, I don't think I really want to do this. And he said, I think it's too late. And I was like, yeah. And so this is the feeling I realized I've been having, and I feel like I felt as tuned into the collective that we've been having, is excited and wait, and not quite sure I want to do this. And it's this fear of not knowing how it's going to be, or not remembering, how it's going to be, not remembering how, because we have this perception, and it goes back to Lemuria. It goes back to the origination of this creation, of this dimension and this level of separation. And those of us who volunteered to be the managers and the keepers and watchers of the whole thing, and somehow believing we did it wrong, incorrectly, right? So, or we felt like it was done, we took a wrong turn. And for some reason, through this entire existence, we felt that birthing should be a punishment, should feel like punishment, because we felt like it was that we should be punished for what we did, when it is unconditionally perfect, right? So we're going through this, we're changing the way we're doing this evolution and transformation. And my understanding is we're doing this in a much different way than we've ever done it before. So part of it is, we also, in saying that, it's important for us to resolve and accept all of the things, all of the ways we have done transformation and change and evolution before. And instead of saying we're doing it different, so we can't do it that way at all, that's exclusionary and separation based. But remember, to move forward, to really do this in this new, expanded, unified consciousness kind of way, the important part of it is to say it was all perfect. Right. So one of the things that I had discussed with a friend of mine, and we did, in working on this, and I did this with a group last night, was talking about accepting and seeing that everything is unconditionally perfect, that we created it to do exactly what it's doing. Right. And so many of us have gotten there. Or we just say it's all perfect and everything else. But my understanding was it's time to go beyond that. When we say something is unconditionally perfect, right, or infinitely perfect, however you want to look at it, then everything we have to look at, then it sort of changes the energy in a way that we look at it, because then we don't look at it with judgment anymore. And it's like, okay, so it's perfect, so how can I judge it, right? So if I look at it and say, it's perfect, I'm going to put this up so you can get better light on me. It's getting dark. There we go. So if I'm saying it's perfect, then we can say, okay, so I created this to give me a message, because we create the way I teach and understand things. So we create our reality in a way that reflects all the messages and remembrance back to us. So if it's outside of us, it's something we're not seeing within us. And it's like, okay, so if this is here and it is unconditionally perfect, what is it that I'm missing? What is it that, or not missing, but what is the message back to me to look at within myself, right? So and that's what I was doing, right? Because I'm going, why? Oh, why? And I was getting so irritated. And it really wasn't irritated at things, which I was, but it was more irritated at myself going, I know I created this. I know I'm creating this. And why am I getting one distraction after the other? Why can I not get this stuff done that I want to get done before the beginning of the year? Because I know it's coming. And I realized that's when I got to that place of saying, oh, well, you know what? It's that energy of, I'm going to hold my hand out and say, just wait a minute. Wait. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm getting to it. But I got to do the dishes first, or I got to turn off all the lights first, or before I do that, I've got to do this, or I need this upgrade. I need all this upgrades. And funny enough, I had so many upgrades in my physical surroundings in December. One of the cars in my household had to have like a major shop stuff done. My phone fell into a creek, my cell phone, and I had to get it replaced. I had to have all the like wiring to my internet and cable in my house had to get replaced. And so I kept on laughing, going upgrade. And then at some point I was like, well, wait a second, though. Upgrades really are only within ourselves, because it's coming back to remembrance that we're already fully divine and complete. So there's nothing that's outside of us that we don't already have. And if we're talking about upgrades, it's only ourselves allowing ourselves to be more of that divine self that we are. So when we turn it around like that, well, it's like, well, it's just me and me and me. So it's coming to that place of saying, all right, well, we already jumped off the diving board. We already started this huge wave of change, and we all know this is the way we want to do it. So the biggest thing for us to do is to say, I trust that we're doing it in the most awesome way, because it's unconditionally perfect. And for us to say, and even saying that, I can feel this like, a big breath of relief to say, I accept that it's all unconditionally perfect. And even Lemuria, Atlantis, creation of darkness and separation, of all of the things that we have done in separation throughout this entire experiment in existence. And I accept all that as unconditionally perfect, because all of that led up to this point so that we can come around full circle and complete this experiment of Earth, or what the purpose of Earth. And it's a small little tiny planet, little tiny dimension that all of us have come from all over the universe to be a part of, because we thought, wow, look at how dense and separate, and look what we've created in tactile stuff and physical senses. And so this is the beginning of I don't want to say the beginning of the end, but the end of the beginning. And coming into this next thing, a lot of people who are into numerology talk about how 2016 is a 9 year, which is the end of a cycle, and 2017 is a 10 or a 1 year, which is the beginning of a cycle. Very powerful stuff. And we are, because we actually, I don't want to say the beginning of the end, and I'd rather say that the end of the beginning, because now we're really changing, and we can allow it to be fun and easy and exciting, or we can allow it to be painful. And I think we have done the birthing is painful thing enough, so it's time for us to say it can be fabulous and enlightening and enlightened and divine and easy. To do that, my understanding is the biggest part of that for us is to trust our higher selves, and to really, and when I say trust, I'm talking about going inside to who you are and trusting your divine self, trusting that even if you don't remember all of the picture right now, that your higher self has your back. The universe has your back. We are here on purpose. We're here because we chose to be here for this party, and we are the ascended masters, the angels, the archangels. We are the divine. We have all embodied, and actually we are bringing even more embodiment in, my understanding is this year. And part of that is 100% being our divine authentic self and embodying far more than what we have in such a long time. And that if we trust and we allow and we love in doing it, we will go way beyond what we've had in the ages of gods and goddesses. We will bring back these divine abilities and remembrances that we haven't had here in the physical in the same way at all since we started this, so that we can transform it into the next part of the game, the next creation. And it's beautiful when you see it that way. And so then if you say, okay, so then this is the end of the beginning, well, then let's really ramp it up, right? Let's really do this. Right, so we've been in labor. We started labor. Okay, let's do this, and let's do it easy. Let's be one of those who just have this. Let's do it in the, yeah, Nikki says, I'm so done with painful. Right, we're all done with painful. Let's do it better. Let's do, not better. It's all unconditionally perfect. Let's do it fun. Shall we? Let's do it in a way that, oh my God, birthing is orgasmic. How would that be? We would all have 5,000 kids, right? But birthing anything, we can do it as orgasmic and blissful and truly immerse ourselves in that bliss. And the key is getting back to the core of who we are, which is the divine being that's inside of us, the divine consciousness that we are, that's part of the wholeness, the oneness. And remembering that we already have enlightenment. We're already there. That nothing that we get outside of us is something we don't already have inside of us. And this is what is our biggest remembrance to live with as we move forward. And key to that is shutting down the chatter of the ego, which is what all the chattering in our mind is, to get into our heart and to listen to the higher self. And the more we do that and we strengthen that connection and we embody our higher selves and we embody the divine, in a much bigger way than we have. I mean, we do already because we are the divine no matter what. But bringing in all of our consciousness to be fully here as well as fully out there. To accept and allow, and those who've passed over who are helping us from the non-physical planes, along with our non-physical parts. Thank you. And let's line up and do this in that way and see what kind of party this is going to be. It's going to be like the best. So, as we move forward, my understanding is the changes in the 3D are going to be becoming more what the eyes would see as more and more chaotic. And my message that has been strong for several years now is be the calm in the storm. No matter what is going on around you that your physical senses feel, depend more on the inner self and the higher consciousness and your connection with that and listening to that over anything in the physical, because that is the way to do it easily and blissfully, and with a lot of fun. So in coming into, that's a lot of stuff, and coming into this next phase that we've already started, go inside, and whatever that means for you, however that works for you, in a way without limits, that you don't have to use anything outside of you to access what's already inside. And it is already inside. So make sure you do your self-work, your self-focus, your self-development, your meditation, however you want to call it. But we have the power to change everything. Everything is possible. We have the power to change all sickness and illness and injury and everything else. And as we go, by the way, that stuff just goes by the wayside because it becomes unimportant as we keep our eyes on the bigger picture. So we just flow past it because our consciousness stays up here when all that stuff is down here, and we don't need to focus on that anymore, So let's do a quick clearing for all of us as a collective and moving into this next phase to be able to accept that everything is unconditionally perfect, that we can trust and allow ourselves, the higher self, the universe, that all has our back, that we can trust that we will have everything we need exactly in the moment we need it in exactly the way we need it. And that with all that energy we free up by trusting like that, that we enjoy it and have bliss and laughter and synchronicities that we just laugh at because it's amazing, the magic that we bring in. So let's do that. And close your eyes. And if you're watching this, the replay of this, you can do this outside of space and time. So just close your eyes and open your heart and be really be willing to receive. And we're going to go do that now. All right. That was nice. Okay, so you can sit in that. You can come back and do it again, or you can go back with that same intention into whatever version of meditation you do, or whatever practice you do. And there's so much more to come. So thank you for joining me. I will be doing a lot more of these. I have a new website going up. You're welcome, Nikki. Thanks for joining. I have a lot of stuff coming up that I'm going to start doing next week on, getting past your the blockages, getting past the blockages that cause your spiritual plateaus, and a lot of programs like that. Talking about Trinity Energy Progression, which is a practice that I originated in 20 2011. Started teaching 2012, so it's going to be 5 years. 5 years next week since it's been, since it's been here and being taught here. So I'm excited to talk about these and help everybody along, because we really are ready to go breakneck speed. So have a fabulous new year, and see you out there in the ethers, because that's where we all are together. Have a great one. Love you.